My daughter's name is Emani Dior. She's 4. Her name means beautiful faith in Swahili, but as we know, she ultimately grew up without a father. She endured a brutal custody battle broadcasted across global headlines. She inherited millions, yet no amount of cash could ever fill that void. Now, at 18 years old, the late icon's daughter, Emani Asghedom, is navigating the intense streets of Los Angeles on her own terms, and some observers fear she is beginning to tread the exact same path that made her father both a legend and a target. Emani Dior Asghedom just entered adulthood, and her current reality is truly heartbreaking if you look closely. Today, we are going to lay out the entire story for you. Welcome back to the channel. If you have been riding with us, you know we never settle for superficial coverage. We dive deep into the facts, the complicated family dynamics, the street culture, and the real pain behind the headlines. Today, we are breaking down one of the most emotional stories in hip-hop right now. This is our complete breakdown of Emani Asghedom, Nipsey Hussle's eldest daughter, who just entered adulthood, carrying a burden most grown men could never survive. We are talking about a girl who lost her father at 10 years old and got dragged through a highly publicized custody battle for years, and is now finding her footing inside one of the most challenging and complex zip codes in the entire country. Before we unpack this, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because you will definitely want to stay locked in for what comes next. Let us set the scene first. To truly understand Emani's reality, we must be completely real with you. You have to understand exactly who her father was, where he came from, and what he represented, and the world she inherited. Nipsey Hussle, born Emani Joseph Asghedom on August 15, 1985, was never just a rapper. He stood as a community pillar, a brilliant business visionary, an activist, and a devoted dad. Raised in Crenshaw, South Central Los Angeles, he survived one of the nation's most gang-dense environments. His mother, Angelique Smith, was African American. His father, Dawud Asghedom, was an Eritrean immigrant who escaped war to carve out a better life in America. So right from his birth, Nipsey was forged by two very different worlds. The honor and discipline of his African heritage combined with the raw, uncompromising reality of South Central. By age 14, Emani had aligned with the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips, one of the most notorious and deeply rooted gangs in Los Angeles. This was not about seeking cheap thrills. In communities like Crenshaw, the gang structure often was the primary social structure. It provided protection, brotherhood, and identity. Nipsey understood those complex dynamics from the inside out, but what separated him from the rest was his ultimate mission to use that lived experience to change the entire system. He channeled his story into rap and began acquiring property on Slauson Avenue. He established the Marathon clothing store, literally buying back the very block where he was raised. His 2018 debut album, Victory Lap, earned a Grammy nomination, while he actively negotiated gang intervention programs with city officials. He had cracked the code on how to escape that environment while elevating it from within, all while executing his most important role, fatherhood. But here, our coverage must address the tragedy. On March 31st, 2019, Nipsey Hussle was assassinated outside his Marathon clothing store at Slauson and Crenshaw. He was just 33. His killer, Eric Holder, came from his own neighborhood and set. The utter senselessness of his murder sent shockwaves through the entire hip-hop community. Two young children were suddenly forced to navigate life without their dad, including his eldest, Emani Dior Asghedom. She was only 10. Let's look at November 9, 2008, the day his fatherhood journey began. Emani was born to Nipsey and his then partner Tanisha Foster, back when the artist was 23, hustling hard in the underground rap scene, dropping mixtapes, and quietly laying foundations for a future empire. He lacked fame and fortune back then, but according to everyone close to him, the moment that baby girl arrived, his perspective on life shifted permanently. In tough neighborhoods, having kids before you are established can break you or motivate you. It either drags you down or sparks an unstoppable drive. For Nipsey, it ignited the most intense drive imaginable. He frequently discussed how fatherhood completely revolutionized his mental outlook and work ethic. During a 2018 interview with Stephen Curry, Nipsey reflected that looking back, starting a family was easily his greatest achievement. That was his dedication to fatherhood. That shows how deeply he cared for Emani and later Cross. To understand this story, we must note that Nipsey and Tanisha had an on-and-off relationship for years. He later found love with actress Lauren London, staying by her side from 2013 until his tragic passing. Despite the complicated romance, Nipsey remained a dedicated father to Emani. He was always there, taking her to major events and proudly sharing those memories across social media platforms. Those close to him repeatedly confirmed their bond was genuine and profound. This was a real relationship, far deeper than any simple photo opportunity for the public eye. Emani grew up seeing her father become much more than just a successful rapper. She saw him turn a local clothing store into a massive movement. She observed him hosting free health clinics in Crenshaw and sitting at the table with local politicians and community activists. She knew the true side of Nipsey Hussle that the public was only starting to recognize. To her young mind, though, he was simply her dad. He was a man who showed up, who genuinely cared, and who tried every single day to serve as a guide in a neighborhood without a compass. Close associates and relatives have shared how Nipsey constantly taught Emani the values of integrity and strong leadership, aiming to build a solid foundation that would support her through whatever challenges life threw her way. For a girl in Crenshaw, those lessons were crucial. Subscribe to our channel for more hip-hop news. She lived in a tough environment, but her father worked tirelessly to remain her steady anchor. Then, tragedy struck without warning. On March 31st, 2019, 10-year-old Emani lost her father. She started her day as the daughter of a rising musical icon. By sunset, she was the child of a fallen leader. Let us pause on that reality. For anyone following the hip-hop community, losing a parent to violence in South Central is all too real. It is a deep generational scar. Yet Emani had to grieve in the spotlight. News feeds erupted, and thousands gathered for emotional vigils outside his Marathon clothing store. Tributes poured in from Jay-Z, LeBron James, Barack Obama, and other major global figures. As the world wept for the star, a young girl had to process her personal trauma amidst the media chaos. She had no quiet place to mourn. If you find this reporting valuable, please like the video. Just weeks later, in May 2019, a custody hearing convened in Los Angeles County Superior Court with young Emani present. According to TMZ, the room filled with intense emotion when Emani saw her mother, Tanisha, who reportedly broke down crying right there in court. The legal battle focused entirely on who would gain custody of young Emani, marking the start of a highly painful chapter. As reporters tracking this case, this is where the custody battle gets incredibly messy. Nipsey's family, including his brother Black Sam, sister Samantha, and mother Angelique, took immediate legal action to secure guardianship. They raised serious concerns that Emani's biological mother, Tanisha Foster, was unable to provide a stable home. Court filings alleged that Tanisha struggled with substance abuse and had a history of troubling behavior around minors. For her part, Tanisha initially agreed to let the Asghedom family step in as guardians, temporarily yielding control, noting her financial struggles and wanting to ensure Emani kept the comfortable lifestyle and family bonds she shared through her father. She placed her trust in them, but claims they failed to honor their promises. By 2022, Tanisha filed to end the guardianship entirely. She asserted that the Asghedom family used their wealth and influence to block her from visiting her daughter. Her petition argued that promised financial assistance and family support never materialized as they had originally agreed. Tanisha stated that Emani wanted to return home, pleading with the court that the teenager wanted to be reunited. She declared in her legal petition that the guardianship was no longer necessary. Emani routinely asks me, "When are she and I going to be able to live together? She longs to be with me as her mother. I am begging the court to terminate the existing guardianship." From our desk, this represents a heartbreaking situation. A mother separated from her child, begging a judge for the right to raise her daughter. On the opposite side, we see a grieving family determined to protect the legacy and child of a lost brother. For years, Emani remained trapped in the middle of this dispute, growing up while dealing with intense grief. She watched her family wage war in court filings while trying to be a teenager. Remember to subscribe for more updates. Now, for the real update, and this is the major news update that many overlooked. In March 2025, this custody battle finally concluded. Court records filed on March 5th confirmed the details. In 2025, Tanisha Foster finally secured joint physical and legal custody of Emani, sharing it with Black Sam. Let's break down how this works. Emani spends 60% of her time with Tanisha and the rest with her uncle, Sam Asghedom. Under this new deal, Nipsey's mother, Angelique, and sister, Samantha, officially stepped down as co-guardian. Sam is now the sole family guardian, while Tanisha and Sam share equal decision-making power over Emani's well-being. Crucially, The official court agreement confirmed Tanisha retains her full parental rights, a major victory she fought years to secure. The settlement also ensures Emani stays enrolled in all her current academic and extracurricular programs, no matter which household she is staying at. Now, if you and I look closely at the significance of this, the reality is clear. We know that when high-profile street tragedies involve immense wealth and power, these intense custody battles almost never end cleanly. Both sides choosing to settle instead of letting a judge decide tells us everything we need to know. It shows their main priorities shifted directly back to Emani's best interests. And as for Emani herself, turning 16 around the time of this filing, she was clearly old enough to have her own voice heard in this outcome. But our team knows this is about more than legal filings. This teenager spent her formative years split between two homes, while carrying the grief of losing her father, all while living under a heavy public spotlight, never getting a real chance to just be a normal kid. While this custody victory is a major step forward, a simple court document cannot erase years of emotional turmoil. Now, you and I need to address a major question that many are asking, because Emani's situation doesn't exist in a vacuum. It is directly tied to how the Asghedom family is moving forward, years after Nipsey's tragic loss. Understanding her environment means looking closely at the family's income and legacy. Hit that subscribe button as we unpack this. Let's look at the estate. In November 2023, Black Sam submitted a full estate accounting report, showing a massive valuation of $11 million. That breaks down to roughly $7 million sitting in cash accounts, with $4 million spread across businesses, including full ownership of All Money Incorporated, plus 100% ownership of Marathon Studios, the Marathon Touring Company, Marathon Clothing, and the rapper's entire trademark portfolio. This is a legitimate, active business empire, far beyond simple merchandise. Our editorial sources confirm that Emani and Cross remain the sole heirs to this estate, each holding a 50% share. Because young Cross remains a minor, his mother, Lauren London, legally manages his half, making her a key partner in these active businesses. Emani's wealth is supervised under the guardianship of Black Sam, who has been the real engine keeping the late rapper's legacy alive. The flagship clothing store remains open, serving customers both on Slauson and online. Sam also confirmed they are launching a Marathon burger joint right next to the retail shop, an exciting new restaurant rising on the exact block where Nipsey built his foundation. This growth shows the Asghedom family is actively building, not just coasting. Drop a like if you respect their hustle. On top of business ventures, Sam has teased dropping vault tracks from Nipsey Hussle in 2025. This is unreleased music, recorded before his tragic passing. But the family is highly protective, warning that if Nipsey did not personally complete the verses or draft the creative vision, it will not be released. That editorial level of integrity is rare. He refuses to exploit any project his brother did not personally approve before his death. Lauren London also continues to stand as a primary figure, carrying this legacy forward into the future. In 2024, she joined forces with Microsoft to launch the official Nipsey Hussle $100,000 pitch contest, which funds Black business owners with major grants to scale up their operations. This initiative directly aligns with Nipsey's core goals of financial education and empowering Black-owned companies. Lauren consistently uses her platform and estate role to keep this flame burning. What do you think of this family's hustle? Let us know in the comments below. Between the estate, the clothing brand, his music catalog, and community programs, and those business competitions, Nipsey's family is far from struggling financially. But as commentators, we must focus on Emani, because money does not fix everything, not even close. Now, let's analyze where Emani actually is today, which is the heart of our report, and our editorial team wants to be completely upfront with you about the facts we have. So make sure to subscribe as we tell this story. Here are the facts. Emani Asghedom was born November 9th, 2008. Depending on when you watch this video, she is roughly 17 turning 18. Entering legal adulthood in real time. Based in Los Angeles, her time is split between her mother and her uncle Black Sam, per the 2025 custody agreement. She has been seen at family events and community gatherings. And from what we observe on her feeds, she is blossoming into a confident young woman who carries her father's unmistakable look and his powerful energy. Back in November 2024, she posted a clip that quickly caught massive viral attention. Both fans and rap journalists quickly noticed her striking resemblance to Nipsey, prompting an outpouring of love from the community. Those who knew her father, along with Crenshaw locals and global hip-hop fans, flooded her comment section with endless support, noting she clearly inherited both her father's eyes and his magnetic presence. For those who loved Nipsey, seeing Emani come into her own is easily one of the most emotional cultural moments we have covered in years. Witnessing a piece of a lost legend still moving through the world is a beautiful, yet almost unbearably bittersweet experience. But we have to look at the hard truth, because this isn't just a feel-good story, and our headline was chosen for a reason. There are serious concerns about her safety on the street level. Drop a like if you support her journey. Raised in South Central, gang culture is deeply embedded within her family's history, with her father affiliated with the Rollin' 60s and her uncle Black Sam deeply rooted in that world. The brutal reality is that her environment has not magically transformed just because her father preached a message of change. Nipsey himself spent years attempting to distance himself from that lifestyle while remaining connected to his community. He negotiated historic gang truces, cooperated with city officials, and bought back the block to build a brighter future. But the streets around Slauson and Crenshaw do not change overnight simply because an icon demands it. Emani is a young teenager, growing up in those exact streets with those same intense pressures, without her father there to guide her. The crucial question many hip-hop commentators are quietly asking is who is actively protecting her on that level? Is her uncle Black Sam, while busy managing the massive family brand, also doing the daily, hands-on work to ensure she avoids the very same cycle that claimed her father's life? These are not accusations. These are the questions fans and media are asking out of deep concern, having watched a man who tried to elevate his neighborhood get taken in front of his own storefront. Nobody in the culture wants to see his daughter go down that same tragic path. The cold hard truth is that generational wealth guarantees neither safety nor direction when the local environment remains unchanged. While Emani will inherit her share of a multi-million-dollar estate, she is still growing up in a zip code where gang activity is a daily factor, where her father's face is painted on murals, outside the spot where he died, and where millions of rap fans monitor her every single move. That level of intense pressure is something no teenager should ever have to shoulder, and she has to deal with it without the one parental figure who was meant to help her handle it. Consider what it actually feels like to walk into a room in Crenshaw carrying the name Asghedom. Imagine trying to attend school, build normal friendships, or simply live like an ordinary teen while every single adult around you is connected to your father's estate, grew up under his massive shadow, or remembers his death in vivid detail. She cannot escape that heavy legacy when it is literally painted on every street corner of her own neighborhood. Her father's giant mural stands right around the corner from where she goes to sleep. The store carrying his brand is the exact spot where he lost his life. This is no minor background detail. That is her constant reality. For our viewers who are outside of the culture, let us break down why this matters so deeply. In a neighborhood like Crenshaw, family legacy means everything. If your father is Nipsey, you are never just his child. You are a living symbol, representing a movement to hundreds of thousands of people. Everywhere Emani walks in that Crenshaw neighborhood, people don't just see her, they see him. It's a massive blessing, but a heavy burden, too. That blessing is pure love. Nobody is letting anything happen to Nipsey's daughter, not on that block, and certainly not in that community. She has a protective shield most young women in South Central could only dream of. That includes the Crenshaw community and the Rolling 60s, the business owners Nipsey built deep ties with, and the activists he worked beside. Everyone has a stake in making sure his kids are okay. That protection is real, but the heavy burden is just as intense. Because that circle also brings a deeply rooted culture, and that culture carries its own heavy norms and values. It is the same gravitational pull Nipsey spent his final years trying to reform, without ever being able to fully escape it. As commentators, we know you cannot be Nipsey's daughter in Crenshaw and stay fully shielded from its realities. It doesn't work that way. Reports suggesting Emani is leaning toward that tough street lifestyle, tracing her late father's steps, not just in music and business, but in the street culture of his youth, aren't shocking to those of us analyzing this environment. It is heartbreaking, but not surprising. It is the exact cycle and trap Nipsey fought against with every ounce of his being, and our biggest fear is that his tragic passing broke the very shield he was constructing for his young daughter. We are not blaming anyone here. We are just exposing the raw reality. Ultimately, Emani Asghedom's current situation is far larger than just one teenager's personal journey. This is about the fate of kids left behind by gun violence in culturally rich communities that are starved of the structural support needed to break these destructive cycles and secure a better future across generations. Nipsey understood this reality better than anyone. He preached that the marathon continues, meaning the grind, the work, and the entire mission must never halt. He meant his own life, and he meant his beloved neighborhood. But above all, whether he spelled it out or not, he was absolutely speaking of his own children. Now, Emani is running that marathon. She carries his name, his blood, and the heavy hopes of millions of rap fans who want his story to mean something more than tragedy. She is doing this as a teen, without her dad, right in the neighborhood where his life was stolen. While her family does their best to stay strong through their own grief and legal drama, we must state an undeniable fact. She is standing strong. Every single milestone, public appearance, and social media video is concrete proof that she is moving forward. For a young girl who lost her father at age 10 in such a public, violent way, that progress is no minor feat. It is everything. Our editorial team wonders if the support system surrounding her, including the estate, the community, and the legacy business structures her father built, are truly doing the deep work needed to guide Emani toward the bright future her father envisioned for her, the one he was actively investing in before his life was cut short. Grief has no set timeline, and growing up in the spotlight, with absolutely no privacy to heal, while the culture watches and projects massive expectations, can push any young person down a path that no amount of inheritance can easily fix. Subscribe for more deep hip-hop commentary. Emani required more than legal custody paperwork. She needed steady, intentional mentorship. She needed room to discover her own identity outside her dad's massive shadow. She deserves people in her corner who value her as a person, not just as a hip-hop legacy symbol. Remember, Nipsey did not just leave behind an $11 million estate. He left a young woman whose upcoming life choices will define her entire future. And that literal marathon he set in motion, which was always about uplifting the community over selling music, depends entirely on her well-being. Look, her story is far from finished, and that is why we must keep talking about it. She is not a closed book. She is currently navigating her own path and purpose. While she has access to immense wealth that her peers in Crenshaw may never see, and she is backed by a network built around one of hip-hop's most beloved legends, she still carries emotional wounds that cash cannot heal, on a path that demands wisdom rather than wealth. Like this video if you feel that. Nipsey dedicated his entire career to proving that ownership, community strength, and sheer resilience can defeat any odds. Nipsey Hussle was the ultimate proof of concept, and now his daughter carries that legacy forward. As commentators, we all want to see Emani win. The hip-hop community wants her to succeed not just as his child, but as Emani Asghedom, carving her own path and building a legacy that honors her father. The marathon continues, and right now, it runs through her. How do you and I see her future unfolding as she takes the lead? Share your take in the comments. Our editorial team really wants to hear from you. If this reporting hit home today, make sure to hit that like button and click the screen for more hip-hop deep dives from our team. We appreciate every single viewer who rocks with our platform. Peace.